Granulated sugar. It is the highly refined, all-purpose sweetener found in almost every kitchen around the world. Extracted primarily from sugarcane or sugar beets, all naturally occurring molasses has been processed out to leave pure sucrose crystals. What sets it apart is its uniform crystal size, which prevents it from clumping and allows it to dissolve easily in liquids. It matters because it forms the structural and sweetening baseline for everyday baking, cooking, and sweetening beverages. Brown sugar. This is essentially white crystalline sugar that has had molasses added back into it during processing. It originates from the same sugarcane or sugar beets as standard white sugar, but the reintroduction of molasses gives it a distinct caramel flavor and a moist, clumping texture. The primary difference between light and dark varieties lies simply in the percentage of molasses mixed in. It is incredibly popular in baking because it adds moisture, deepens flavor profiles, and creates a chewier texture in foods like cookies and quick breads. Castor sugar. Often referred to as superfine or baker's sugar, this is a very finely ground white sugar. It comes from the exact same sugarcane or beet sources as standard white sugar but is processed through much finer sieves. Because the crystals are so small, it dissolves almost instantly even in cold mixtures, distinguishing it from standard granulated sugar, which can leave a gritty texture. This rapid dissolving rate makes it essential for delicate desserts like meringues, soufflés, and light sponge cakes where texture is paramount. Confectioner's sugar. Also known as powdered sugar, this is white sugar that has been mechanically crushed into an extremely fine dust. It is made by milling standard granulated sugar and then mixing it with a small amount of anti-caking agent, usually cornstarch, to prevent it from absorbing moisture and turning into a solid block. This texture makes it completely unique, as it feels like powder rather than grit. It is widely used to create smooth icings, frostings, and glazes, or simply dusted over baked goods for a pristine decorative finish. Cane sugar. This refers to sugar produced exclusively from the sugarcane plant rather than sugar beets. Cultivated in tropical climates, the tall grass is harvested and pressed to extract its sweet juice, which is then boiled and crystallized. Unlike conventional white sugar, which can come from either beets or cane and is heavily refined, organic cane sugar is often less processed, retaining a slightly larger crystal and a subtle blonde color. It is highly sought after by consumers looking for minimally processed ingredients and those who want a purer, more natural sweetening option. Coconut sugar. This is a natural sweetener produced from the sap of the flower bud stem of the coconut palm. Farmers make an incision in the flower and collect the liquid sap, which is then heated until the water evaporates and granules are left behind. It stands out because it retains a small amount of minerals like iron and zinc, and it features a lower glycemic index compared to standard cane sugar. Its earthy, slightly toasted flavor makes it a popular alternative for health-conscious consumers and those following specialized diets. Turbinado sugar. Often sold as raw sugar, this variety consists of large, pale brown crystals. It is made from the first pressing of sugarcane juice, which is boiled and then spun in a centrifuge or turbine, giving the sugar its name. What makes it different is that it retains a small portion of its natural molasses, offering a mild caramel flavor and a satisfying crunch. Because the large crystals do not melt easily into batters, it matters mostly as a finishing sugar, providing a beautiful, sparkling, crunchy topping for muffins and pies. Muscovado sugar. This is an unrefined or partially refined cane sugar with a strong molasses content. Hailing primarily from sugar-producing regions like Mauritius, the sugarcane juice is extracted, heated, and left to crystallize naturally without spinning off the molasses. This traditional process leaves it extremely dark, sticky, and rich with deep notes of toffee and subtle bitterness. It is deeply valued in culinary applications for creating robust, savory sweet dishes like barbecue sauces, marinades, and rich gingerbreads. Demerara sugar. This type of raw cane sugar features large, golden, crunchy crystals. It originated in the historical Demerara colony in Guyana, South America, where the specific soil and climate contributed to its distinct qualities. Similar to turbinado but typically with a slightly larger crystal and a richer molasses note, it is minimally processed to keep its natural color and flavor intact. It is most famous as the perfect companion for hot beverages, especially coffee and tea, where the slow melting crystals add a luxurious sweetness without overpowering the drink. Pearl sugar. Also known as nib sugar, this is a specialty sugar consisting of large, opaque white chunks. It is produced by compressing white granulated sugar into dense blocks and then crushing it into coarse fragments that are sifted for size. Its defining characteristic is its ability to withstand high baking temperatures without melting, caramelizing, or losing its shape. This thermal stability makes it indispensable in traditional European baking, particularly for giving Belgian waffles their signature sweet crunch and decorating Scandinavian pastries. Invert sugar. This is a liquid sweetener created by breaking down the bond between glucose and fructose molecules in standard sucrose. It is typically manufactured by heating sugar with water and a catalyst like citric acid or specific enzymes, which splits the compound into its two base sugars. This chemical inversion makes it sweeter than standard sugar and significantly improves its ability to retain moisture while preventing crystallization. Commercial bakers and confectioners rely on it heavily to extend the shelf life of baked goods and keep candies perfectly smooth. Liquid sugar. Simply put, this is standard white granulated sugar dissolved in water to create a stable, concentrated syrup. Produced in commercial facilities by mixing the two ingredients at exact ratios, usually equal parts by weight, it eliminates the need to dissolve crystals manually. The key difference is its physical state, which allows it to mix instantly and seamlessly into cold solutions. It is a fundamental ingredient in the beverage industry, serving as the backbone for sweetening everything from sodas and iced teas to craft cocktails at the bar.